$14,000 a month for rent, that's the figure raising eyebrows after a press conference on Thursday, where Public Service Union President Dean Flowers revealed that the Ministry of Blue Economy is shelling out that amount for office space in just one building. It's a revelation that's sparking fresh questions about government spending and accountability, especially at a time when public resources are under the microscope.
Blue Economy, they're paying $14,000 for one of their buildings. $14,000.
Imagine paying $14,000 a month for what looks like a house. That's the reality for the Ministry of Blue Economy, according to Public Service Union President Dean Flowers. The building in question, a two-story structure at 1688 Seashore Drive, right across from the Belize Sign Monument Park in Buttonwood Bay. It may look like a retrofitted residence, but it's currently home to a full government ministry. Today we caught up with Minister Andre Perez. While he didn't deny the hefty rental figure, he did try to justify the cost.
Let me start off by this. I heard the PSU mention all of these places that they claim that are exorbitant rents and everything. Well, let me tell you something. The Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation is a very relatively new, just going on a second term. So we need to rent. We need rent, and I think the figures are reasonable. And in fact, where we are right now, the ministry is growing already. There's more people being put in as the blue economy expands the ministry. Because remember, 5 years ago, there was no blue economy. We started from scratch. We started from that. So it's growing. And to say, government has always been renting. Why are they raising up the factor? Why didn't they raise it 10 years ago when all of these cronies back then were renting? Nobody said anything. So I'm surprised that he's not saying about what happened in the past. Why until now? Right? But in case of my ministry, it's well justified. We're getting value from it.
Back in 2020, the same building now housing the Ministry of Blue Economy was being rented as a home for just $4,500 a month. Fast forward 5 years, and the government is now paying $14,000 monthly for that very same space. That's a steep jump, and it's raising eyebrows. When asked about the massive markup and whether any kickbacks were involved, Minister Andre Perez didn't deny the cost but tried to justify the deal.
Let me tell you about kickbacks. I think this is all ludicrous and hogwash saying that we're guided by the Ministry of Public Service. They're the ones in charge of that, so I cannot comment on that. But I respond to that as hogwash, man. I mean, you can't be going by that. It's a building, and it's right by the sea, fittingly for the blue economy. And in fact, let me add something else. We adopted the park in front. We adopted with the community there working together. It's a beautiful park where it's now a tourist attraction. So that is what we're doing. So in terms of just asking about how much you're paying, it is actually beautifying the entire neighborhood. And the neighborhood is very happy for officers to be there.
And it's not just one ministry under scrutiny. PSU President Dean Flowers also revealed that the Immigration and Nationality Department is paying a whopping $22,000 a month in rent.
Topping the list for the highest monthly rental is the Immigration and Nationality Department, which falls under the Prime Minister's ministry. And they're paying $22,000 to a certain landowner. And we must ask ourselves, is that the office in Belize City? Is that the office in Belmopan? And if it's the office in Belmopan, I believe that we would have already, which is a much more beautiful building, if I can say that, compared to the office in Belize City. I can tell you that that building, the price of that, the monthly rent for that building was never $22,000 under the previous administration.
When it comes to government rent payments, the numbers keep climbing, and so do the questions. We reached out to the ministry for answers about that hefty $22,000 monthly rent for the Immigration and Nationality Department. What did we find? The payments are being made for a building in Belmopan, and the money is reportedly going to an unnamed Asian national. Even more interesting, according to Minister Andre Perez, it's the Ministry of Public Service that facilitates the process.
And this is the shocker. The Ministry of Youth also has one here for $14,000. I'm trying to figure out which building housed the Ministry of Youth that is worth $14,000.
Minister of Youth Anthony Mahler is pushing back against claims of excessive rental spending. Speaking to News 5, he denied Dean Flowers' statement, saying the Ministry of Youth rents 3 modestly priced buildings, one in San Ignacio for $1,235, another in Benque for $2,000, and a third in Corozal for just $650. But while the debate over rental costs continues, Belize City's main fire station is still operating out of the Maran Jones Sporting Complex under poor conditions despite repeated complaints. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.